All right, thanks for coming out. Obviously, good to get back on the football field and play football, although we didn't have any pads on today. But I liked our energy. I thought our players came with a workmanlike approach like what they've done all off season. I thought our energy was good. Now the big challenge is maintaining that high level of consistency from practice 1 all the way to practice 15. I really was anxious to see our older players of how much retention would be, how much carryover from the fundamentals to our style of play to the way we practice and our habits. And I tell you what, it really benefits when you have a lot of returning players. We could do some things kind of where we left off last season in terms of special teams, but we have a long way to go. But I liked our leadership, I liked our energy. Some of the younger players did some really good things. We had some players when we got into some team and some competitive situations, which is natural with young players, kind of freeze a little bit and kind of let the mind tie the feet up a little bit. But I thought for the most part, very, very productive day one.
Early on, what are the accomplishments or the expectations of these guys in those pads? What do you try and accomplish?
The small details, the fundamentals. You know, you can still work your style of play, the 63 effort that we talk about, schematically, retention, you know, no missed assignments, no mental errors. So there's a lot that you can accomplish, but really you never know until the pads come on. Football is meant to be played with pads. But you can still get a lot out of a non-padded practice. You know, our habits in terms of how we tag off, the fine details from body position, palms up, where you tag off on the defender, your finish, the ability to just throw and catch. So there's a lot of things, but obviously looking forward to Saturday. But we have to continue to grow and accelerate as a football team from each practice. Every coach will tell you that. But, you know, we're still very, very young. And but I liked our mindset and I liked our approach.
What did you see from the quarterbacks today? What stood out?
I thought our younger quarterbacks did some good things when we got into some competitive environments and some team situations. But again, overall consistency. I thought Josh did a great job of providing leadership, experience. But again, even getting into some situations, he was locking his front leg out a little bit, which will get corrected. But I thought Quentin did some very good things. I thought Jawan did some good things as well. But also it makes you realize they're freshmen and they have a long, long ways to go. But that's very, very understandable. That was their first collegiate practice. But I was very encouraged by what I saw as that position as a whole.
Some of the mechanical things that Josh tried to fix, did they really show up?
They did. They showed up at times, you know, having a compact stroke, you know, a closed stance. At times he gets really, really wide in his base. You know, he locks his front leg out at times, but I thought he did a very good job mechanically. You can see the transition from last year, the progression from last year to this year. Now he has to be able to maintain it, but also improve upon it. And it's repetitions over and over and over again. We still have to work on our strike points. And we talk about explosive plays, and a lot of times it's turning the receiver into a ball carrier just by your location of the football. So those are things that we have to continue to work on with him, and not only him, but all of our quarterbacks.
What's your sense you were looking forward to seeing tomorrow? What did you see?
Well, again, it's hard because you didn't have any pads on, but I saw a very gifted athlete. I saw a very intelligent football player, an individual who worked extremely hard. He's grasped the offense with day one installation, but burst in explosiveness. And I asked him, how was your first day? He said it took a while to get used to the tempo, but you know, once he got used to the tempo, you could see the natural ability start to kick in. So I was very excited about him. Yeah. We're always going to start, if we have a person who can play both sides of the ball, we're going to start on the defensive front. but Charles is not 100% healthy. Really, the time frame for his injury is really a full year of recovery. So he's working through some things, but he's very, very explosive. He has very, very quick hands. What we're trying to do is make a determination first and foremost. Can he help us on defense? Can he make an impact? If not, then in 3 or 4 more practices, we may move him back over to the offensive line. But we want to start right now with the defensive front.
How much he got out of.
I'm sorry?
Josh was saying how much he got out of sitting in on that interview and like the board interview for the job. What made you decide to do that? Have you ever done anything like that? Having players sitting in on there?
It's the first time I've done that, and I thought Josh, first of all, had earned the right to sit in that interview. I wanted his feedback. As we all know, Josh is very cerebral. And so I wanted his input on some of the things, and I also wanted to see kind of the chemistry, the mesh that those two individuals, with Coach DeBoer and Josh Dobbs, would have. And you could see in an instant that there was a chemistry there, and that showed me something when Josh kept coming back into the building, even though that part of the interview process was over with.
Is that unusual, especially because there's so much? It's not like it's Peyton Manning and he's going to be here for 15 years. I mean,
Yeah.
Is it weird to have that much input from a player that is quick turnover?
Well, he didn't have a ton of input. He had some, but again, that was the quarterback because everyone else was new that Coach DeBoer was going to be working with, and you know, everything is about the betterment of our players and the welfare of our players. So I just thought that was great. I trust Josh, and so I wanted his input. But again, it's that chemistry. It's I wanted to see Mike DeBoer teach how he was able to teach, you know, with a young adult. We can sit in room as football coaches and talk football all day, but to put him in front of a young adult and see how he would teach, see how he could build that relationship, that's what I wanted to see as well.
On the flip side, was it weird that Coach Jake wasn't out there? It's been a long time since we've gone through a practice without him.
It was great to have Coach DeBoer out there. You know, he was interacting with all the position groups, so it was great to see him out there, and I thought our players, again, did a great job. Just with, you know, some new stuff thrown at them, some different things that in the structure of practice that we haven't done in the past. We're also doing our tennis speed groups, which our players are competing in 20-yard dashes, and we're charting that, and winners move up and winners move down. So I thought our players handled some of the new situations and structure of practice.
Coach, talk about Jalen Reeves-Maven. Has he slowed down a little bit, and is he a guy that you can use in multiple positions?
He is. Jalen Reeves-Maven is, again, very cerebral. He's an intelligent football player. He has great football instincts, great football IQ. He's worked exceptionally hard, and you know, he'll know all of our linebacker positions. He's helping the young players out, and also special teams as well. And he's a valuable member of our football family. What I like about Jalen right now is he's providing stability and he's providing leadership. He's one of those individuals I go to a lot. Sometimes I'll razz him through a via of other players, but love everything about him.
With Dylan Bates and Mike, you said he was working there a lot today. Is that a move out of necessity, or is that one where you just kind of also, in a normal situation, would want to see what he could do?
Want to see what he can do. And again, you know, Dylan's an intelligent football player, but you know, having him miss most of the year, having him out there, he's going through the learning curve, just like all of our young players are right now. And I think the speed of the game was fast initially, but Dylan did some great things. He's athletic, he's very instinctful, and he's smart. And again, I said in our press conferences, it's also the style of offenses that you're playing and what you ask for in a Mike linebacker as well.
With him being such a young player, I guess, is it tough at Mike to have a younger guy there? I mean, you might not have much of a choice, but is that something that's tough to do, put a Mike there barking out the signals?
Well, it's a challenge, and that's where we have to rely on Jalen Reeves-Maven a little bit as well. Jalen knows the entire defense inside and out, but we're going to be young, and that's one of the answers that we need to get, one of the questions we need to get answered when spring ball concludes is who are our number 2 and who are our number 3 linebackers. And so that's one of the points of emphasis as a football program, as a defense, that we have to get answered throughout the course of spring. And we'll know a little bit more again. You know, it's it's, you know, it's 7-on-7 football. There's not a lot of things that are going through the thought process right now when you don't have pads on. Now all of a sudden the thought process of dissecting the formation, the tempo, you know, citing the formation, understanding the front, the coverage, and not knowing if it's run pass or run action pass. There's a lot that goes into it. So we'll know more as spring ball progresses.
Coleman Thomas and sharing, I guess, his workload there from Summit Center, some on the outside. What the thought process that goes into that? Because obviously there's, I guess, a bit of a need in those spots.
Right. Well, again, we're trying to find out the best five individuals up front. So we're going to move some players around, and Coleman obviously gained valuable repetitions on the edge of our offensive line at tackle. His natural position has been center, and again, you can never have enough centers. They touch the ball on every single snap, and so again, we'll move him around, and those repetitions will be valuable for him. The other thing I thought was just our body composition, our body makeup of our entire football team walking out there today. We're slowly starting to look like an SEC football team in terms of our bodies, and you could see individuals making monumental strides, you know, with their bodies. And we always talk about your body as your weapon. And, you know, are you a Sunday body? Are you a Saturday body? And really taking pride in that. And I thought some individuals you could really show their efforts in the weight room really translate onto the football field.
How much will that help in the fourth quarter of games they run the strength?
Tremendous. You know, you win games, you win championships in the fourth quarter. You have to have the ability to close games out or come from behind. And so I think, you know, everything is about, you know, the mental toughness, the physical toughness, and if you don't have the strength, it's hard to have the physical toughness. And we always talk about, you know, working to dominate your opponent, how you wear your opponent out. You don't wear your opponent out on play 1, play 2, or play 5. You wear your opponent out with a consistency and approach, and that usually occurs in play 50, play 55, and that's something that we talk about to our players all the time.
In what ways has Cam Sutton assumed leadership on the defense side?
I tell you, you know, I put Cam Sutton into that Jalen Reeves-Maben category. Cam is very consistent. He's very competitive. We have great dialogue. We talk all the time. And you know what you're getting in Cam Sutton every day. You know, you're getting an individual who's driven to be the best every time he steps on the football field, and he's reliable. And, you know, our players trust him, our coaches trust him, and, you know, he wants to be one of the premier corners in our conference, and he's working exceptionally hard at that. Good? All right, thank you.